You're listening to the World's Team Podcast. It's not just America's team, Cowboys Nation. It's the world's team. Now, here are your hosts, Paul Stewart and Mike Poland.
How about them Cowboys?
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the World's Team Podcast. The Dallas Cowboys fall 30-27 to the Carolina Panthers. And yeah, this one stings. Coming off a win last week against the New York Jets, you think this team would keep the momentum going forward, but instead, our defense just completely collapsed. Former Dallas Cowboy Rico Dowdle had a massive day, runs over 180 yards against his former team, and somehow, some way, we gave Bryce Young a career day. The tackling was awful, the coverage was all over the place, and the defense looked nothing like they were once promised, pretty much. We're going to break it all down. What went wrong? Who's to blame? Where the Cowboys go from here? And as always, I am joined by my co-host, the one and only Mr. Mike Poland. How are we doing, bro?
Disheartened. You have to stop and think after what we saw with the Jets. You go, are the Jets really that bad? Like, if it's this bad for Dallas, how bad are the Jets? The whole thing was pitiful. I'm at a stage now where I'm like, I would prefer to have Mike Nolan back than keep Eberflus in here.
Jeez, that's a bold statement and a half, Mike. That's a bold statement. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I can actually. You're not the only one that I've seen actually tweeting that. To be perfectly honest.
Nice.
But yeah, it's. I think it's a shared sentiment in that regard. Like our only sack in the game came from Maris Learfu.
From a linebacker.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sam Williams and Izaraku fell short once again getting to the quarterback. They did create some pressures, etc. But the biggest problem of all, which was supposed to be our strongest point coming into week 6, was our run game with Kenny Clark and Osa. Rico Dowdle just completely tore us apart. He made the promise coming into this game that he was going to do the business. He's going to do no talk, all action. And he did that. I mean, what was it? 186 yards rushing,
239 total yards.
Yeah, and that's including passing and a touchdown as well.
Yeah.
So, and like we kind of mentioned there, Bryce Young got a career day. So
3 touchdowns.
But yeah, it was hot. It was painful to watch at times where it was just run, pretty much. Then it was just an odd wee pass, and not just that, we actually got to see Ted McMillan got his first touchdowns of the season.
Yeah.
It's
funny. They were mirror reflections of each other in this game. That the Panthers were very, very. They found it easy to run. The pass, okay, and it came on in the fourth quarter, most definitely. The Cowboys were the opposite. We couldn't run, but our passing, with Dak again being on fire, was much better.
I would say Dak, was probably 90% amazing, I would say. That 10% was probably down to that one drive in the fourth quarter where we're throwing the ball.
That was the play calling, though. I will say that. Yeah, I disliked the play calling. Everything about the Charlie's play calling was good. Fourth quarter fell off.
It was a terrible series. It really was.
Made no sense.
Even our good friend Brian Broad has said that was absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, it's. But I mean, let me just run down the stats anyway. Looking over the game, so. From the Cowboys' perspective, Dak was 25 out of 34 with 261 yards, averaging 7.7 with 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Didn't get sacked with a quarterback rating of 124.8.
Amazing.
I mean, it's great stats if you're especially if you're on the winning team, but on the losing team, it's like, how did we lose that? Like,
yeah.
But here's the troubling part. So Javante Williams, 13 carries, 29 yards, averaging
Yeah.
2.2. And I
Mhm.
will say, mate, you got to give the Carolina Panthers interior defensive line their props. They stepped it up today. They really did. They isolated our run game today.
Yeah, that. So it was a double-edged sword. Their inside defensive line was great. Our inside offensive line completely collapsed. It was getting no push.
I would say, yeah. Here's my theory behind this, Mike. I genuinely do believe we rushed back Tyler Smith. I really do.
Yes, I agree. And
I
Hoffman didn't have a great day either.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't. Like s- same different could be said for TG Bass. I thought TG Bass was okay, and even Guyton had good moments, and even
Mm.
Terrence Steele had good moments, especially in the pass protecting.
In
Like
the pass protection, no
yeah,
issues.
and
The run game,
but anything we tried to do inside run, it was always at that side on the left hand side of the offense. It was always the problem. So,
yeah,
but going over the statistics for the wide receivers. So Josh Picken, 9 catches for 168 yards, averaging
career day.
18.7 with 1 touchdown. His longest being 45 yards.
He was on
Uh,
fire.
Pickens was fantastic. Like that play in the first quarter, like the leap.
I got a question here for you.
All
The
right.
way you're seeing Pickens play right now without
Yeah.
Lamb, do you think he's priced himself out of remaining in Dallas beyond this year?
I don't even want to entertain that now, Mike. I really don't.
That's a question.
I know.
I don't think we've
I'm
got
refu-
Pickens on this
I'm
roster next year. He's going to be too
I'm
expensive.
gonna shut you down on that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna shut you down. I am refusing to even think about that right now because I'd rather think how the hell we're gonna fix our defense more than anything. Like, because I'm not really caring about the future as of right now. I'm caring about what we have right now.
Yeah,
And
and here's the problem is, and I know you're going to hate this, but we just put a pin in it. Is that we traded Micah Parsons to make this defense better. We traded him and we were like, right, we'll get Kenny back, we'll remove some cap, and we'll make the defense better. That's what I'm saying.
I still don't think Parsons would have been the game changer in this game. My personal opinion, like Parsons in terms of the run game, I didn't think like pass rush. Yes, getting to Bryce Young would have made a massive difference, 100%. But in terms of stopping the run, I don't think so. I really don't. Like that might be that's just my personal opinion on it. I might get slandered for it, but but sometimes you need to look at the proof in the pudding in that regard. Like there's been several instances where Parsons been forced off the ball when it comes to the run game. Like even when you look at last season when he was fit and healthy, it wasn't really that effective. But when it comes to the pass rush, you put him in there regardless. Put Parsons like if it's like third and long, Parsons is your main guy.
The other irony as well on that subject is DeMarcus Lawrence today had himself a brilliant day.
Oh, it just keeps getting worse. Just when I guess that's our downfall for kind of help celebrating the Eagles losing the other night, isn't it? Oh well, it is what it is. But the Cowboys are now 2-3-1. My
Mhm.
God, I mean that's a weird statistic in itself, and I think this is what we're going to expect this season. It's just going to be such a weird season. But then again, it is first time head coach, etc. Blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's like we need to be better, Mike. We really do. But
The-
let me
Sorry,
continue. But let me
go on.
continue on with the stats for the defense. So again, Shamar James led in tackles with 11 total, with 6 solo tackles. Then it's Kenneth Murray with 7 total tackles, 4 of them being solo. Donovan Wilson was third with 6 total tackles with 6 solo. We will talk about him shortly. Reddy Stewart, 5-3. James Houston, 5-2. Mars Leafu, 4-4. With 1 sack and 1 tackle for loss and 1 QB hit. Sam Williams was 4-4. But I'm not going to list out every single name because it is quite a fair list here. But and in terms of kick returns, Jaden Blue, 2 returns for 40 yards. longest being 25. Jalen Cropper, 2 returns for 38, longest being 21. In terms of punt returns, Jalen Cropper, 2 for 19 yards, longest being 10 yards. Guess the best positive of this game was Brandon Aubrey, once again. 2 for 2.
Pickens, Aubrey.
And Pickens, sorry, I do apologise. Yes, Pickens was probably the best highlight.
But here's another statistic that is also concerning. Is you just talked about Jaden Blue. Okay. On the special team side, yeah, okay, fine. But here's another problem. He had 3 rush attempts that went for 0 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a guy where we were like, speed is everything. If you're playing a defense like that is trying to crash and is maintaining his rush lane, you need speed. Whether it's a schematic issue, I have to go back and watch it to be able to be definitive on this. Whether it was scheme, like the play call, which didn't suit what they were trying to do with him, or whether he just didn't execute. But either way, to have 0 yards on 3 rush attempts is bad.
Yeah, the one play in particular, Mike, was the one where he was going off to the right.
Yeah.
He hesitated massively.
And you don't need to in that position.
No, and because now you hesitate, now you've got 3 defensive guys from the Panthers chasing you down to the sideline.
Yeah.
And we ended up going for like negative yards or something in that play, I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But either way, it's not good. And Javonte Williams did try his best out there, but like he tried to like lay it down despite the leaks within the offensive line. Like he tried to lay it down on him, but either way, Mike, like just overall, it was a tough watch because we just knew, and going into that fourth quarter, when after the Elam penalty happened,
that was it.
They were just going to run the clock down with Rico Dowdle, and they just kicked the field goal and win the game.
They were just going to keep their offense on the field, run as much of that clock down to give Dallas as little time. Where I put on a tweet before the Elam DPIs, I said, this is one chunk play away from being over. And literally about 2 plays later, Elam does the DPI, and I'm like, there you go. Now they've got it. They've got the momentum. They've got the clock on their side. They're just going to kill you. They're going to kill you with Dowdle.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm just, it's really hard to think what positives we did. I mean, Donovan Wilson, yeah, he did get an interception early on in the game, yes, but there has to be a big serious question surrounding him right now. Like, he got absolutely schooled by Tate McMillan for that first touchdown. He got absolutely schooled. The double move on him was like, come on, man. And the second touchdown, that was unfortunate. Like, that could have been prevented. Sam Williams was very unfortunate to get there, and he was just like that split second away of making that big play at that time, and Wilson was just lost in tracking Tate McMillan in that play, and that was the end result. He ended up getting 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, like, yes, Wilson has some issues. I also think the way that Eberflus is trying to make them play doesn't make any sense. And I don't mean just the safeties. I mean the cornerbacks too. So the Deron Bland, where they got the 4th down. Yeah, Deron Bland was standing all the way back in Europe on that. I know they're trying to play an over-under, but it doesn't make sense with the personnel. You had Deron Bland playing over and Kenneth Murray playing under.
I knew that was going to go to Hunter Renfrow straight off the bat after I saw
it. Didn't make any sense. Didn't make any sense.
Here's the thing, like, I know you're not on board with the Eberflus train anymore. I know that. My gut feeling is, do we generally actually have the personnel that actually plays the system, the scheme?
Nope.
That's the problem. I don't think it's actually Eberflus's problem. Fault, sorry. It's the fact that he's came in as a new defensive coordinator. He's been given what he's given. He's only had X amount of players to bring in to try and reshape this defense.
And he got put behind the 8 ball before the season started. the very foundation of what that zone offense, that zone shell offense plays off is pressure up front. And it got taken from him a week before the season started, and this is the result of all of that.
I mean, we can go back and forth on this, like, for years, pretty much. But, like, the whole thing, like, would we pay Micah Parsons a lot of money and be in cap hell? Or do we now just kind of, like, do we just accept it now and try and work with what we've got? Like, because I
Working with
understand,
what you got isn't working though.
I get that, but I understand what you're saying, though, because end of the day, like, Parsons isn't here anymore. That's not going to change,
Mm.
right? Like,
Oh no,
yes,
I'm not like saying, you know, I'm saying let's bring back or whatever with the money. I'm just saying that the system Eberflus is trying to put out, the rug got pulled under his feet before the season started.
yeah. And this is and I think this is where I think it's a wee bit unfair to, like, say, oh, get Eberflus sacked, because I generally don't think it's all his fault. I really don't. I think the players need to be held accountable as well. They need to learn how to adapt more than anything.
That I agree, yeah. That
Because, like, for example,
there's
right,
things the players are doing wrong.
no. For example, right, for example, like, if you go from a 3-4 defense to a 4-3, right,
It
this
does
is gonna
change a lot.
that changes a lot,
Yeah.
especially how you line up your linebackers, how you line up your defensive line. If you're going to be like a 1 tech or a 3 tech, but if you're playing like a 3 front, you're playing more of a 0. Like, and you're playing more heads up against defensive ends. That's kind of generally how your 3-4 and your 4-3 generally tends to work. Like, that's a whole scheme change. You need the personnel to kind of make that work and help adapt. Like, we've had several transitions over the years with different defensive coordinators, and it has kind of worked because they've been very similar. But whereas this, like, it's nothing. That's the thing I don't get. It's the fact it's nothing significantly different compared to what we've done before. That's the thing. We're still a 4-3 defense.
Yeah, but it's that you've got certainly cornerback wise, you've got guys who are very man cover orientated. So when you try and get them to play zone, it does mess with them quite a lot.
This is why I am relishing for Siobhan Rebel to get on uniforms as soon as possible. Like, that's what I'm hoping for right now. Like, I'm not
3
gonna
more
say
weeks.
I'm not gonna say he's going to be the savior, but he will improve this defense, especially in the secondary. There's no doubt about that.
3 more weeks, mate.
It's gonna be a long 3 weeks, that's for sure.
Well,
But
that's roughly, you know, because it's 8 weeks and then you've got a 21-day window.
yeah. But try and think of some of the positives again. Like, Dak Prescott again looked really on like, basically, like, before everything kind of fell apart defensively massively.
Hmm.
That looked as though he was playing like an MVP. He really
Oh,
did.
yeah.
Like I don't care what anyone says. Just because the Cowboys are 2-3-1 right now, you cannot dispute how Dak is playing right now. He is single-handedly trying to keep this team alive and try and win games.
The seam touchdown to Jake Ferguson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
That,
fire. You know,
oh,
and you're
like,
like, I put it right straight away. I was like, seems we have a seam again.
big shout out to Isha Morrison, by the way, from Girls Talking Boys. She called that on her show on
Nice.
DallasCowboys.com. She made that. It's like, for an order to Jake Ferguson to work, you need to throw the seam route, and she called it. So
Yeah.
big shout out to Isha. So big shout out to her.
Another big one as well is Hunter Lipke on the Spider 2Y banana.
I have to admit, that was a good play. Like, I mean, what was it, 4th and 2 at the end zone?
Gutsy call. Gutsy.
See, that's the calls I do like from Schottenheimer. Like that gutsy type of calls, I do like that a lot. So, but there's some parts of the game, you just kind of think, why on earth did we do that? Like,
Yeah, I
we,
mean, look,
like, I'll give you
go
another
on,
good
go on.
example. Like, see any other fourth down situation, we know we're going to try and make them jump. So defenses don't even bother. So
Yeah,
why not just like
give it a go.
give it a go?
Yeah, and it
Like,
worked. Like,
oh,
I
but
didn't actually like the play call. I was like, oh, don't know about this, but you can't argue with the result. So they're working with more than what we have. So that's why that call was played. But then you go from like that and you go, okay, very, very good. To then the fourth quarter series where they go 3-and-out immediately, where they
that was
go,
it. Really was one of the worst offensive
it's
drives
a
I've seen.
terrible
It,
series. They
it
go,
was
so
horrible.
bearing in mind, right, at this moment, Dak's attacking downfield. You're doing throws outside of the numbers, quick slants, seams, as we just said. They're all working in your favor. And you're going, nice, very nice. And all of a sudden they go, and it hasn't worked all day. They go, Javonte Williams running up the A gap, splat, they go 5 yards back. Then they go on a screen pass that goes 5 yards back. And then the 3rd and 15 or whatever it was.
I
And
think
they
it was
dump it
third.
on a check down.
I think it was 3rd and 22.
Something like, yeah. And they check it down. And I'm like, that is the weirdest series. That is the weirdest bunch of play calling. Like, you want to go deep in your bag at this stage. Why are you calling that there? That made literally no sense. With everything that's worked in this game, you did the opposite.
And that was the first time we actually punted the ball throughout that whole
Yeah,
game.
that's right. That was the
And
first 3-and-out we had.
yep, and because every other attempt, we actually put points on the board, whether it was a field goal or a touchdown.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It was the weirdest. It made zero sense with what was working on offense. And at that moment, that was the pressure play. That was the moment where you were like, the Cowboys just forced a 3-and-out, albeit it came off the back of penalties from the Panthers to put them into like a 3rd and 20. But still, regardless, Cowboys defense finally makes a stop on 3rd down. You go,
mhm.
okay, momentum swinging back. And they come out and do that on that offensive series.
It was
Nothing wrong
yeah,
with what they did execution wise. The play calling, the play that was in there, uh,
yeah,
it boggles my mind.
yeah. We read the room terribly in that one. Like especially like we're should be at the point where okay, let's just try and finish this game, and this is what we do. Like I'm like, it just felt very uninspiring in that matter.
Yeah.
And
I
and,
wouldn't
and, and
eat.
I'll say this, mate, we deserve to lose that game. We deserve
Yeah.
it. So like after that 3-and-out, I just knew what the outcome was going to be. Not so much after what happened with the Elam pass
DPI.
interference.
Yeah.
Yep, it was that point there. I was like, no,
That's terrible. Yeah.
yeah, that's terrible. Like that's the momentum shift is now back on the Panthers, and they're going to go and win this game now. I just knew it.
Yeah. And I wouldn't even have minded on that series that we're talking about if they took 3 deep shots or a couple of deep shots and an intermediate throw to try and make it, and they didn't. If they went 3-and-out there, I'd be like, well, at least you were doing what was working, what was in the plan. Like, everything at that stage was working, and you could say, like, oh, well, why didn't we play short again? Because that wasn't working. Running play wasn't working. They were doing what was working throughout the game, but they veered from it. So then when you go 3-and-out in that way, you go, well, no, that just doesn't add up to anything. I don't get what you were doing. But that's regardless of everything that was going wrong on defense. Because you were just like, if the Cowboys score, the defense are coming straight back out. And really, what they needed to do on that drive, if they were to try and do it, was chew up as much of that clock as possible. But because the run game wasn't working, that was going to
Yep.
be hard to do.
Yeah. Yeah, our run game was completely, like, I wouldn't say obliterated, but it was completely nullified
Yeah.
in that way,
Yeah.
in comparison to Rico Dowdle, who did came out and delivered
Oh,
it.
yeah. Yeah.
Fair play to him. He had a great game. He really did.
And we said in the pregame poll that Look, he just come off a 200-yard game against Miami. Confidence is going to be high. He's aware of the Cowboys team, their defense, and he comes out and done exactly what we was talking about.
Yep, that's it. Well, folks, obviously it's a disappointing end to Sunday. We were hoping we would have came back with a victory, but no, the Dallas Cowboys do fall short, 30-27 to the Carolina Panthers at the Bank of America Stadium. But yes, we will be back next week to cover the pregame show. Oh God, who are we playing next week?
Do you know what? That I should know the answer to.
I'm just at that point. I'm just like still in shock.
Washington.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's going to be a tough one.
But at least it's home.
That's true. It is going to be a home game. But we just need to turn up. That's the thing. We just need to turn up. And, yeah. But, yeah, we definitely need more help on defense. We need people to actually step up and actually do their assignments correctly and actually try and work on playing on zone defense as well. So, and, like, yeah, it's... But I'll give all their props to Carolina. Their offensive line, they helped open the lanes for Rico Dowdle. They really did a good job against, like, Kenny Clark and Osa. I mean, some mistakes were there with Jay Toya, like dropping the infraction. That was bad.
But Jay Toya also on the shift. He shifts and just leaves a massive hole in the middle. I was like, where are you going, Jay?
But yeah, it's a tough one to swallow after the momentum after last week's game. But yes, folks, we will be back to cover the Washington pregame show not next week, during the week. Yeah, you can tell that we're a wee bit tired after watching that game. But yes, be sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what your thoughts are about the game. Obviously, I can imagine your thoughts will be kind of like
hours.
yeah, down pretty much. But yeah, folks, I hope you enjoy your weekend regardless. And but yeah, folks, we will catch you guys next time here on the World's Team, and all the best. Catch you guys later.
That's a wrap on the World's Team Podcast. Smash that like button and hit subscribe, Cowboys Nation. This ain't just America's team, it's your team.
Touchdown!
It's the World's Team, only on Believe, where real fans live.
How about them Cowboys?